in a certain way and had to call yourself to order? Well, if you have, you might be wondering why you act the way you do. Hello, book lovers. Welcome to Book Review with Shalom, a place where we dive into the world of books, thoughts, and ideas. On this episode of Book Review with Shalom, we'll be looking at Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim LaHaye. Tim LaHaye is a writer and he has written a lot of books on temperament. He has even written books on child's temperament. And these books are to educate you to know why you act the way you do and why others also act the way they do. Do you have a friend and you've been wondering why he consistently acts in a certain way? Then I think you need to read Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim LaHaye. Now let's go into the book. What does Tim LaHaye say about temperament? In his introduction, Tim LaHaye speaks about temperament and he says these are traits that are gotten from our parents. He believes that these traits came from the fall of Adam. Well, he believes that if man had not fallen in the garden, there wouldn't have been anything like temperament. So temperaments are as a result of the Adamic fall. And he stated that there are 4 major temperaments. Those are the basic temperaments that are inherent in every individual. He stated that we have the sanguine, we have the phlegmatic, we have the melancholy, and we have the choleric temperament. We're looking at these temperaments because one of the most interesting things for me is the fact that I have discovered my own temperament and it's helping me build my relationship with people around me. Alright, let's get to the 4 basic temperaments. These temperaments have their unique personalities, they have their unique strengths and also their unique weaknesses. We're starting with Sparky Sanguine. You might be wondering why we added Sparky to his sanguine. Now, Sparky Sanguine is a very lively person. Have you seen things sparkled? You know, they just go this way, this way, this way. Now, that is Sparky Sanguine for you. When he comes into the room, he lights up the room. He talks to everybody and makes everybody feel so special, so loved. Sparky Sanguine is somebody who does not keep grudges because he literally just forgets that you offended him yesterday. And the sanguine personality does not allow him to be disciplined. He's so disorganized. It is believed that you meet a sanguine and he's looking all clean outside. But when you get to his room, oh my God, you'll be wondering if it's a human that lives here. Because of his personality, he doesn't have time to organize and put everything in place. He's always on the go. He's always on the run. I think some of you might have friends who are sanguines. They want to talk and they interrupt you anytime you say 1 or 2 words. They just want to be in charge of the conversation. Most people find sanguine annoying, but this personality is not really annoying when you get to meet them because they're able to sympathize with you. They're compassionate people. If you are in need, a sanguine is there for you. He's always a shoulder you can cry on because he relates with your pain. He feels that you are just this person at this moment that needs him the most in the whole world. And don't expect sanguines to be faithful friends because they are on the go. They look for the next happening things and they're out. So if you have a sparkling sanguine friend and you're thinking this person is annoying, it's not really annoying. Think of the fact that this person is compassionate and is always there for you when you call him. Alright, the next temperament we'll be meeting is the Martin Melancholy. Now, Martin Melancholy is one temperament that is known for his perfectionist personality. He is calm, he's an introvert, he doesn't talk too much, he doesn't rush into decision. One of his weaknesses is the fact that he is very peculiar about everything he does, that he doesn't quickly make decisions. At the long run, he tends to lose. So sometimes he has something to do and he will take time to analyze that thing. He wants to go into a business, he will take time to analyze the possibility of that business failing. And that has been a weakness for most people who have Martin Melancholy as their temperament. They don't make decisions when they need to make decisions because they are always scared of it not being perfect. They're scared of failing. And so Martin as a friend would be a good friend because he would be a faithful friend. He is an emotional person. Personally, he tends to have a depressing personality when things don't go as planned. Because he has taken time to make decisions and to plan, he expects that things should come out perfectly. And when they don't, Martins get depressed. When it comes to their handwriting, Martins have the most wonderful set of handwriting. Because they're a detailed person, it shows in their writing. So when you meet a person and you bring an idea, and this person is skeptical about it, he wants to know the possibilities of that idea succeeding, he wants to know the possibility of it failing, just know that you're meeting a Martin Melancholy. And be patient with them because at the long run, they bring out perfection in whatever they do. In their relationship with God, Martin Melancholy is so perfect that he feels like he does not warrant the love that God gives him. He feels that he is not as perfect as God expects him to be. So sometimes he has a setback in his relationship with God, and he's always apologizing for failing over and over again. So this is Martin Melancholy for you. Look around and see, how do you relate with that person? If that person is a perfectionist, I think you can step up the standard. Unlike the sanguine, Martin Melancholy will not talk until you initiate him into that conversation. Now the next temperament, which I think are people we see every day, they are born leaders. They might be a little bit hot tempers, they are go-getters. They set a goal and they make sure they get it. And the choleric. Choleric is a wonderful temperament which we find mostly in politics. We find them in businesses. We find them succeeding in places of leadership. They call them the born leaders. Choleric people are people who will tell you, I'm going to Abuja tomorrow, and whatever it takes them, they will get to Abuja by tomorrow. They are goal setters and goal getters. Choleric people are not emotional. Do not expect a choleric person to be emotional. I think I've had a friend who is a choleric person, and he'll buy you a birthday gift and he'll be like, this is your birthday gift. It can be so annoying to have a choleric person as a husband. Imagine your anniversary and he's telling you, happy anniversary, honey. It's so annoying, but needless to say, they are humans and they have their personalities. So understand them, learn to love them. Because they are not emotional, they're not able to express emotion, they're not able to say when they're hot, they feel like they are just in their world and they're existing alone. It's difficult for a choleric person to come down to being imperfect or serving other people. But with the help of the Holy Ghost, cholerics are able to work in a unique way that brings out the best parts of them. Put them in leadership and watch your business or your organization thrive. Now, the last temperament we'll be talking about today is the phlegmatic temperament. Are you wondering why I'm excited? Well, that's because I'm a phlegmatic person. I'm not being partial, but these temperaments are warm people. They're friendly, they're loving, though they can be a little bit selfish. But phlegmatic are one of the best people you meet around. They are faithful friends to be considered. They are faithful friends, but they do not go into anything unless you're pushed them. They are being pushed into doing that thing. Phlegmatic people are people who, on a normal day, they would not want to go out of their daily routine. They want to do the same thing they did yesterday, today. Wake up, eat, sleep. They do not like too much involvement. They don't want to get involved because they do not like taking responsibility. But phlegmatic people, on the other hand, are amazing people. They will stand by your side. They will help you. When it comes to administration, phlegmatic persons are the best to put there because they will give their best into whatever you have asked them to do, but do not expect them to do more than what you have asked them to do. So, having met the four temperaments, which I said we have, the first temperament is the sanguine, the melancholy, the choleric, and the phlegmatic. Now, what do you do when you meet people who are not your temperament? First of all, don't get annoyed with them. Understand that these things are inbuilt, and these people might not know that they are behaving this way towards you. So when you learn about them, you learn to relate with them, you learn to love them for who they are, and hope that subsequently they would understand these things and change. And personally, what do you do if you have discovered your temperament and you observe that there is a little weakness in your temperament? You begin to work on yourself. Develop. These temperaments are not permanent. They are in you, but they can be changed. With the help of the Holy Ghost, you can change that temperament. Are you a phlegmatic person and you do not want to get too involved in people's life? You just want to be on your own. You can change it. You can learn to relate with people. You can learn to push yourself. You can learn to work under pressure by developing that thing that has been a weakness inside of you. Either are you a sanguine and you take the room all the time, you make other people feel irrelevant when you're around? You can change it. Just observe your behavior towards other people and begin to change. So this is where we stop on this episode of Book Review with Shalom. I would advise you get a copy of Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim LaHaye and learn about your temperament. And remember, you might have two temperaments or a combination of three temperaments. One is definitely your major temperament and the other one comes up. But whatever you do, get to know about your temperament. This will help you in every decision you are about to make in life. Thank you for staying tuned on Book Review with Shalom. Remember to follow us on Facebook at Shalom Sunday and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Book Review with Shalom. So, what temperament do you think you are and why are you that temperament? Just drop it for us on the comment section and we'll meet you there. See you on our next episode.